Well, we've looked at a LEGO Ninja game already, but we all know where there are ninjas, there are pirates.
Correction, Barger. While both ninjas and pirates existed in the Southeast Asia region during the 15th century, there are no authenticated reports of seafaring ninjas. Therefore, it is in fact highly improbable that pirates and ninjas ever met.
It's just a bit of a joke, Darren. Like, who would win, a pirate or a ninja?
Calculating. The ninja would win.
I don't think so, Darren. The pirate would obviously win. For a start,
Guys,
pirates have
come on, give it up. This is one of those never-ending arguments, like puppy or kitten, robot or spaceman.
Spaceman.
Well, obviously not you, Darren.
Exactly. Now, to coincide with the latest Pirates of the Caribbean film comes the rarest of beasts, a decent movie game tie-in. But if you've played any one of the major LEGO games, then you already know what's on offer here.
This time around, you get to play through Legoized versions of all 4 of the Pirates films, and each film is made up of 5 levels that let you play through some of the more memorable moments.
You'll be using characters from all of the films and all of their various special abilities to solve simple but entertaining puzzles. And you'll need to use Captain Jack's trusty compass to show you what he desires most, which is usually the next piece of the puzzle that you need.
The fantastic drop-in, drop-out co-op is here, of course, with its clever little adaptive split screen which breaks apart and ties together as you move about. And I gotta say, Hex, Lego and pirates go together like bread and butter, or parrot and peg leg, and just took me back to when I was a kid, because I had my space sets, but I just loved my pirate Lego, especially, you know, the little shark and the monkey and the treasure chest. Oh.
I know what you mean, and what could be more piratey than running around smashing things, collecting lots of silver and gold? Yar.
And don't forget blue, Hex. The blue studs are worth the most.
Indeed, Darren, but don't forget all of those studs aren't just for show. Port Royal acts as your hub world, and as you complete levels and collect collectibles, you earn gold bricks. With enough of them, you'll be able to expand the hub to discover new areas, as well as spend those hard-earned studs on new characters and various other goodies.
Yeah, the LEGO games are about collecting stuff, really, and one playthrough isn't enough to unlock everything. You need to go back and free play the levels with different characters so you can get all the hundreds of collectibles. Personally, I can never really be bothered doing that, Hex. One playthrough is enough for me, but for those people who like that, it's there.
And the game looks and sounds great, and I love how Captain Jack runs with that swagger.
Dar, 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 dar,
It's kind of
dar, dar.
I thought the sword fighting was really well animated, plus that pirate soundtrack just set the mood perfectly for adventuring on the high seas. But let's wrap this up, guys. Final thoughts?
Well, Hex, you know, these LEGO games are becoming a bit like a ham and cheese sandwich.
Go on.
Well, you know the ingredients, and it works, and it's tasty enough, but it's hardly adventurous. It's just more of the same, really. And I did find a few bugs in this one, such as when I got stuck in a tree, and once I couldn't actually move on to the puzzle, so I had to restart the whole level. But yeah, niggles aside, it's still a fun game, and fun for the whole family, so I'm giving it 8 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Well, I'm a pretty big Pirates fan, and I'd actually go as far as to say this is probably my favourite LEGO game yet, so I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Hey. Oh, sorry, Dan, were you going to say something? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just... Barjo, are you getting bored with my cheese sandwiches?
No, your cheese sandwiches are excellent, Darren.
I could add some gherkins if you'd like.
Yeah, please, if you could just chuck tons of gherkins on.
Just to
You
mix
just
it
need
up.
to mix it up a little bit.
No gherkins
you know?
for me, Darren, please. Just what you've been doing so far has been great.
Hold the gherkins, lots of gherkins. Hex, the last foray we had into the LEGO video game universe was LEGO Harry Potter, and I'm starting to feel like a bit of a veteran of the series now. LEGO Batman is still my favourite, but I gotta say, this new LEGO Star Wars game is one of the most impressive LEGO games out there.
That's right, LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars has arrived and it looks absolutely spectacular. I mean, it has that typical LEGO look and feel, but in particular, special attention has been paid to graphics and animations this time to really make this the best looking game in the series so far.
Affirmative. It encapsulates the Star Wars universe so wonderfully from the moment you start to swing your lightsaber.
That's right, Darren. They've also stuck to the formula that all the other LEGO games have, and you see why, it just works. You'll travel with a group of Star Wars characters, and you'll be required to switch between them to use each character's special abilities to overcome the puzzles that are dotted throughout the game.
The greatness of the series stems directly from this co-op mechanic, especially with the introduction of the wonderful rotating split-screen effect.
And they refine this a little bit too to make it just a bit more of a smoother experience. I think this is the kind of game that's a lot more fun to play in co-op because a lot of the puzzles require you to switch between characters so often, and when you're playing through by yourself, having to go back and forth between characters, it can get a little bit irritating.
Yeah, plus in co-op, you feel like you're part of a team, you're both working together and each has their own particular role. I think that's more fun.
I loved all the little touches that they've added, like being able to throw your lightsaber and slice and dice with it, or use it as a climbing tool. And fighting enemies actually requires some thought now as you combine grappling them in place with one character, while a Jedi can swiftly slice them up with a lightsaber.
The central hub now takes place on a Republic cruiser called the Resolute, and from here you can explore the galaxy at your leisure and explore different storylines in the universe. There are some great vehicle missions too, and interacting with vehicles is so easy and fluid. I love that I could zip around in a ship, jump out, saber a few dudes, and jump back in with zero hassle. And mowing down enemies is always fun, especially droids.
Negative.
I'd never mow you down, Darren.
Quite often, though, I found that it wasn't always obvious what it was we were supposed to be doing in these flying missions. I mean, I guess they assumed that figuring this out would be part of the puzzle, but so often you and I were just flying around, not really sure where we were supposed to be going or if we were supposed to be shooting something. In fact, quite often in this game, the objective is really unclear.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want to baby players and make it too easy, but some simple hints on which direction you need to go in would have been nice.
The coolest new addition to the franchise are the RTS-inspired ground battles. You can play these in co-op, single-player, or versus modes. You control battalions of clone troopers that you'll pit against armies of drones, while also plotting the takedown of enemy vehicles and bases, so you can reclaim them as your own.
Yeah, but again, I could have used a tutorial or something. I mean, there's always a tutorial in RTS games, and, when I was trying to command my troops or plot my takedown, it was just a bit confusing.
Yeah, you really need to take your time with it and learn it, and I think these battles are a smart inclusion in the game, though, because it was in danger of getting stale, and stuff like this really freshens it up. I just wish they'd taken that RTS strategy a little bit further. Some of the shielded bases, for example, couldn't be breached with a vehicle, so you had to go in there on foot, and there was very little risk involved, so it all felt just a bit too easy.
There are some strategic elements that have been included in the game, though, like the addition of gold and silver Lego, which can only be destroyed with specific kinds of firepower. Items and enemy vehicles made out of gold Lego, for example, can only be destroyed with a rapid-fire weapon or a battalion of troops. And sometimes this would involve using the Force to lift up a droid and aim his rapid-fire weapons at the gold bricks. Silver Lego, however, needs to be taken out with explosives or a tank.
Story-wise, if you're familiar with the Clone Wars, then you recognise a lot of the scenes played out here. I don't really know it too well, so I had to put up with the slow-moving prologue, and I just ended up skipping it because it takes so long to get all the story out. I guess what I liked about the older Star Wars games is that I knew them, so they're a bit more fun for me, and I didn't have quite as much fun here because I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, and I was sad to notice that not a lot of that trademark Lego humour was present here. It all just felt quite serious, and that's unusual for a Lego game.
Affirmative. There was Jar Jar Binks for comedy relief, but no one finds him funny. He's just really, really annoying. Like someone else I know.
And as always, there are plenty of things to collect for the completist factor, although I don't know if I found collecting studs as enjoyable as I do, smashing crates in other games, because quite often smashing objects involves quite a few steps before you can actually get to the studs, like smashing through doors that reveal drones, which you then have to use the Force to assemble and then smash to get studs.
If you do take the time though, sometimes a crate will instead reveal a gold trooper that will actually fight by your side, so there's incentive there besides just studs. But every level seems to involve a particular repetitive process that you need to do 3 or 5 times, like pull 3 levers or shoot 5 pink things or activate 3 sprinklers, and it just gets a bit repetitive.
So what's your final verdict?
I really liked it, Hex. I think they've added a lot of depth here, and it's a more sophisticated LEGO game than we've seen before, and they've stayed true to the universe that it's in, so I'm giving it 8 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I liked it too. I think they've definitely taken the game in a more mature direction, and I enjoyed the addition of those RTS ground battles, but that's not really why I play LEGO games. I just really enjoy that humour combined with the fun, creative co-op adventuring, and I just found it was all a bit lacking in this installment. It truly did look spectacular though. I think they might have just been aiming it at a slightly older audience. I'm giving it 7 out of 10 rubber chickens.
So, Barjo, would you like to play some more ground battles?
Oh, sorry, Darren, I don't think we've got any more time.
No!